Yes, yes, yes. You already know what it is. This is Keeping Up with the Senator. I am the Senator. And with me, like normal, we got oh so dope Cass.
It's me. I'm Cass. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, because I'm not trying to get canceled.
That is a fact. I am just getting over the flu. My voice sounds like crap,
It doesn't
but
sound that bad.
maybe in my head it just sounds a lot worse. So it sounds like in my head it sounds like I'm hearing it sounds like it's straining. So like we took last week off, said we're not taking 2 weeks off, and yeah, we are here.
hmm Other than the voice thing, are you feeling okay? Are you sick?
Oh man, I was so messed up last week. I had to get somebody to replace me DJing.
Oh, no.
Um, I took uh, 3 days off pretty much
It
of just
wasn't COVID, was it?
nah.
What was it, if you don't mind me asking? I'll
I
look
think
into your
just a,
healthcare.
I think just the flu to tell you the truth.
Oh, that
Like
sucks.
I got hit bad.
Do you think you caught it at that the conference thing?
Nah, I was good until about Thursday, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, last week Tuesday, I just felt super tired, and so I was like, you know what? Let's just take this week off because it's just been nonstop for me. Cass,
Yeah.
like nonstop. So I was like, let's take a week. Wednesday, I just kind of chilled, and then Thursday went to work for like an hour,
And you were
and
like,
then I was
nah.
like, I need to go. Like it was bad because people they were like, you look like crap and you sound like crap, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, I gotta go. And then Friday, I just didn't go in at all.
Good for you. I feel like sometimes the universe will sit you down and be like, stay. Like, don't do anything. Just recoup on your energy.
That's a fact. Didn't even really do much this weekend to tell you the truth, but I think what hurt the voice part. I think the part that really hurt the voice was when I was umping for my slow pitch team because I can't play right
Oh
now.
my gosh, you're an ump.
No, no, no. So you have to ump your own like your own side in the league. So
What's
like
umping like when you stand behind the base and catch the ball?
no, no,
That
no, no, no. That's like when you just call like uh, strike, ball, or if they're out, right?
listen, you're
But
so cool to me.
you have to do this for like your team when they bet, but then it was a double header. So then
Yeah.
you have to project so much. So I think with coming off of the flu and then having to project so much for 3 hours was like my voice was like, you know what?
Yeah.
No.
How do you take care of your voice? I feel like, hey Benny, what's up? I feel like because your voice is like your art and it's what you do I don't even know if you do it every day, but like a lot of the days of the week, how do you normally maintain and take care of your voice? And then what does it feel like to not have access to your voice?
It was well to take care of your voice, you just don't really use it as much, right?
Mhm.
Um, Now that I can't play like my multi sports until August, that helps with not having to do too much. But my full time job is pretty much talking to people all day too. So like once it's needs a break, you just need to take that break, you know? So
Mhm.
I've been not answering as many phone calls, telling them to text me, and
Mhm.
we'll talk that way.
Are you drinking tea and stuff like honey?
Um, Not a lot, not a lot. Just trying to drink a lot of water and just
Okay.
keep it hydrated that way. They
Okay.
say the best way is just rest it in and stay hydrated. So
Okay.
yeah,
So, to the viewers, today I'm taking over as producer just because, you've been out and about. And also, I like to do these things.
that is a
So,
fact.
thank you. Before we hop in, I did want you to share, like, what was your experience doing that panel? Can you explain, like, what was it a panel for? And then, like, how did you get it? And what was it like?
Shout out to the Fresh Take Network. It was pretty much like a live podcast, in a room.
Mm-hmm.
So on this, it was at it's kind of like it's pretty much like Calgary's Comic Con.
Hmm.
So we did one day where it was about we did like a draft of 2000 TV shows. So we had certain genres. You can't choose the same shows. Like two people can't choose the same shows. You have that lineup and stuff that will be coming up on the Fresh Take Network. So make sure to go check it out. We got to record that one, and then we did a wrestling one for the Your Wrestling podcast, and then that one there. I don't know for sure what the plan is for that one.
Okay. It
We,
looked pretty cool.
we didn't get to record this. We didn't get like the professional recording the second day. Uh, Shout out Josh. He just recorded it on his phone. I think if he can edit it up as best as he can, then he'll put whatever we did through that. But that was like a Jeopardy, wrestling Jeopardy. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, that's lots of fun. That's really lots of fun. Okay, so my update, where have I been? I've been around, we just chilling.
Mhm.
I've been like just writing, getting really creative, and it's literally like my playground. I feel like now I'm feeling a little bit more solidified in the work that I'm doing in terms of creative work. So I'm coming from like a corporate job and I'm on a leave of absence and now I'm in this whole different environment and I feel like now I'm starting to feel like, okay, I belong here. So I think that's really cool. I think that's super duper duper cool. So we haven't yet chosen a show to go forward with.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. So today, while I was at work, I came across this show, and I never heard of this show before. But I guess it's on its 20th season,
What show
and
is it?
it's called First Dates. It's like a UK show, and
Mhm.
it literally follows like six couples that go on this first like their first dates in this like restaurant, and you get to see like how nervous they are when they first get in there. You get to see like the whole stuff with it.
I like
Uh
that.
and it's on the 20th season now, and there's 5 episodes out right now. So I got through halfway of one today, and I was like, oh, and it's good because most of them are like 28 and up.
Okay,
So
good.
you're kind of see like people from different walks of life, people that were married, people that weren't married, people that are working hard. And I was like, until like a next big show, because I think Ultimatum is supposed to be coming back at the end of
Mhm.
this month.
It
So
is.
yeah, so I was like, this would be like something good for like 1 or 2 weeks until
Mhm.
Ultimatum gets
Where do you
on
watch
time.
this show? What it's called First Dates?
First dates.
Okay, and where do you watch it?
Yeah. Um, I don't know exactly what channel it's on,
Hmm.
but
Okay.
I'll share you my where you could go where I watched it from.
Okay, I think I
Yeah,
could find it maybe if you yeah, I'll just Google
yeah.
it. Okay, so today we are gonna be diving into reality TV, but just how it pertains to the stars that were born from reality TV. So I feel like reality TV just has this negative connotation a lot of the time of like that's where you go when your career is dying or when you just want your 15 minutes of fame. But there have been a handful of people who have created a career and used reality TV as a launch pad. What do you think about like reality TV and participating in reality TV and its effects on a potential career?
I think reality TV is reality TV, right? Like you can go on there and you can either go on there and have a positive effect, or you can go on there and have a negative effect. So if we look at somebody like Irina, who went on
Mm,
there, that had a negative effect. Um, and then normally when it does have that negative effect, usually like to be like, "Oh, it's the way how the producers produce me."
yeah.
But you also got to remember that they can't edit or produce anything if you don't give
Hmm.
them that stuff. So it just all depends on like how you go on there and what your actual intentions are. There are people that made it big. There are people that definitely did not. So
Yeah. I feel like there's a difference in how they can launch your career based on the type of show it is. So, like, I find with like competition shows and challenge shows where you have to use some kind of skill or talent, like, I feel like those are more of a positive influence than shows like The Perfect Match or Too Hot to Handle. Because really, you're dumbing, I don't want to say dumbing because that's not nice. But I think it's just the type of show that you're on too can have an effect.
Uh, well, yeah, but like you can still be a likable character on
Mhm.
any show, right? Like the competition one, a lot of times the reason why people are good with how you look or how you might be presented is because of how relatable people are. So
Oh, that's true.
you could still be on a Too Hot to Handle, a Perfect Match, any one of those. It's all about if you're relatable enough, then the audience will like you.
Mhm.
Even the most hated people, even some of the most hated people in reality show history, they've still been watched by so many people. They still had a lot of people that were like, I would never do that, but that's what elevated them because it's like
Mhm.
you're somebody that you it's like what you may have wanted to do, like be a person that would just say whatever you want to say but can't say, right? So yeah.
I think what's important too is like business savvy. So if you have an idea in mind, or if you can, for example, if you're on Too Hot to Handle, you amass a huge audience and then you launch a podcast or you launch a clothing line or whatever. I think being able to see that, like how the Kardashians do it, right? So something negative will happen or something big will happen to bring people to their brand, and then all of a sudden they're launching a new project so that people are hopping right on.
Yeah, you gotta know, you gotta understand what your intention is, right? Like, if your intention is just to go on there to be famous, most times that's not how it works. If you're
Mhm.
on there and you're able to promote something, um, that's usually like when you end up being more successful if you do it that way. So it's just all depends on what your actual intentions are.
Mhm. Okay, so let's play a game. We're gonna go one for one back and forth,
Mhm.
and we're gonna list off some of our most successful reality TV stars.
Okay.
Do you want to go first?
Um, no, you go first.
Okay, I'm gonna say Candy Burruss from Real
So
Housewives of Atlanta.
are we saying more successful because of the
Oh,
TV
but she's
show or
launched a lot after the TV show. Yeah, we're doing that. So most successful after their TV show. 'Cause she came in already successful, I think she had a
yeah,
leg up. Okay,
she
fine,
was
fine, fine,
crazy
you
successful.
calling me out on my own game. Okay, I'm gonna say Kylie Kardashian or Kylie Jenner, sorry.
Kylie Jenner. I think that's a good one. Um I'm trying to think of who I could think of. I'm gonna go with Johnny Bananas from the challenge.
No clue who that is.
So he's
Okay,
like the guy that won the challenge the most, but he's been on so many seasons and made so much money that like
mhm.
anybody that watches MTV, if you say bananas, they know who it is. It was a guy that turned into that backpack when
Oh,
when I showed
yeah,
you that clip.
yeah.
Yeah, him.
Um, does shows like Girl Code and Guy Code, do those count? I think they count. They were on MTV?
I don't really call them reality. They were more
Really?
like to me, they were more like reaction before YouTube
Okay,
reactions
okay,
happened.
fine. Because I was about to say Andrew Schultz, like, he's done a good job of taking his audience and creating a whole dynasty around himself.
Yeah, he's blown up. I'll give you that pass. I'll
Thank
give
you.
you that pass. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Joe Budden.
Oh, okay. Because he took
The
that break.
Well, he was still putting out music around that time, but it was if you knew him, you knew him. It
Mhm,
wasn't to like a larger audience, and I think that kind of catapulted him to more of a mainstream audience, even though they weren't understanding his music still.
mhm.
But now look at his podcast. one of the biggest in the world. So
What are your thoughts on that guy? Because I know it's like super controversial. Either people like him or like hate him.
he's one of my favorite rappers of all time. So
No, not as a rapper, as a podcaster, and like as
no,
a like
that's what I'm saying.
personality.
So I've been a fan of his for the longest, right? I think he has a way of spicing up even the most boring topics.
Hmm.
And I think that that's what you need to do as a podcaster, right? Like, I don't know if people actually know who exactly 100% who he actually is. I think
Mm,
everybody goes off of what stories may have come out, or like they go off of the news and media coverage from other people.
yeah.
But if you can have a bunch of your people, like your closest people, come in to fill in a time when you really needed it, and you continue to be one of the best podcasts out, that must mean like people respect you. Like people show up to his shows. They have, you know what I mean? So it's like it's exactly what you said. It's either you like him or you hate him. Like it's
Yeah.
one out the two.
Like you said, there's so many stories that come out, so it's like who's painting the narrative. But like for me, if it's like if so many people are saying the same thing, and if so many people that you have been super close with and worked with super closely are all leaving you, or there's always an issue, then I'm like, at what point, like he's just the common denominator.
But you can also put it one way. You can look at it that way, right? But you could
Mm-hmm.
also look at it another way, which is what is the easiest narrative to paint on why you left, right? If there's already a narrative out there that says that you do this, and something's not working out, in order to show save face, you can literally be like, "Oh, he did that to me," right? That doesn't
Mm.
necessarily mean that that's the same thing that happens, right? Like, um, for example, if if a girl that I may have been talking to at one point says, "Oh, he just never responded back, and so nothing happened," right? You
Mm-hmm.
might hear a bunch of stories like that happened, but they might not tell you exactly that, "Oh, I told you I wasn't feeling this, and then I stopped responding," right? Like, you can always paint somebody as a bad guy if you get enough people that don't really like them in the same room.
That's a terrible take. I'm sorry.
It's a
Like
great take.
I don't think it's a great take. I think that's a terrible take because at what point do you take heed and take warning from the evidence, right? And it's like I know you're saying, well, sometimes the evidence couldn't be it might not be true, or it might not be rooted in truth. But it's like if so many people are coming out and saying similar things and different things just about your character that all allude to the same thing about your character, like something's got to give.
Well, I don't wanna, like, I could have gone, like, bigger political and all that stuff where it's, like, more serious of a take. I just didn't wanna do that, right?
Yeah, we'll
But
keep
we've
it light.
seen, yeah, but we've also have seen at times where somebody gets accused of something and everybody jumps on that because that's a bigger name, right? So, like, one sec. It's like it's like if it's the industry at times is such a copycat industry
Mhm.
that if one person gets buzz off of saying something, and other people will actually do the exact same thing. We've seen it with different scenarios. We've seen it with different situations. We're not going to talk about these
Yeah,
situations
yeah.
today, but it has happened.
Huh, interesting. Okay, well, today we're going to be talking about a variety of reality TV stars who have made something out of their life and who have come up off the launch pad. Now, for me, I got notes because that's what I do. I do the notes. Okay. So, let's start off with the first 3 and I put them in the same category. This is Kelly Clarkson, Harry Styles, and Jennifer Hudson. Now, there's been a lot of people who have found fame and success from shows like American Idol. I
Mm.
think Harry Styles was the only one who did X Factor in the UK, and they've all created like huge dynasties out of their talents.
Mhm.
What do you think about people who come up on shows like this where it's based solely on talent? Do you feel like it's easier for them to catapult? Do you feel like it's more dangerous for them once they're out there?
No, I think for shows like American Idol, X Factor, um, you're looking at competition shows of singing. You're looking at ones that you're putting your talent out there,
Mhm.
and if you use it to the right ability, then the stardom that you can get from it is undeniable.
Huge.
Um, because even some people don't remember that some of the second place finalists made it bigger than the first place
Yeah,
finalists.
Jennifer Hudson
Right?
was
Yeah.
7th.
So like it's all about how you manage to do it. A lot of times, especially with like voting shows, sometimes not the most talented people always win all the time. So
Mhm.
it's just what you took it and how you catapulted yourself. I am gonna leave you to hold us down for about 2 minutes
Okay.
because I need to go take a pill real quick and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. So, I can't see
Wrong
myself.
person.
Yeah. Okay, so now take it I can't even see the chat, so I can't even go back and forth with you guys. So I feel like maybe I should tell you guys a story. What kind of story can I tell you guys? Let me tell you a story of a actually no, let me not tell that story. I'm trying to like figure out something that'll be good, right on the toes. Um I'm going to tell you my plans for my life, I guess. So, lately, I have been getting a lot of opportunities. I've been putting myself out there. When I'm saying putting myself out there, I've been putting myself out there. So, I've been continuously writing, putting it up on my website, sending out emails to anybody, everybody who I want to work with, of course. And I feel like the energy and the momentum that I'm putting out there is also coming back to me like a boomerang. So, some of the opportunities that I've gotten in the past a little bit. Number one, I'm going to be producing another podcast, and it's a mommy podcast. What do I know about being a mom? Nothing. I'm not a mom. I, y- you get what I'm saying. And I'm talking about this other podcast that I'm going to start producing. So this is news to you as well.
Oh, you're
So
about to be a mom?
no, don't put that on me.
Oh,
Don't
that's
put
what I
that on
heard.
me. No, it's a mommy podcast. So I'm doing the production behind the scenes. So my job is to make sure that film and shoot days go properly. My job is also to plan out the conversations and do whatever research needs to be done, confirm guests, and then also, those producers who are like backstage or like off camera, but like they'll still have a mic and be able to chime in every now and
Mm,
then.
yeah.
Yeah, doing that. So be like mommy stuff is I'm not interested in it, not at all. But I believe in the project and I believe in the person who's leading and hosting the show. And also I feel like being a part of something that I know nothing about will make me a better storyteller. Anyways,
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
For sure. And it'll open your mind up to a whole nother avenues and stuff. And it'll make you wanna it'll make you wanna keep doing it
Oh, so
because
I would
each
say
week
it'll make you want to be a mom. I'm like,
no, it's gonna make you keep wanting to do it because the conversations and the discussions and all that stuff, it
mhm,
will might be ones that you won't normally have. So then you'll take stuff from there and you can be able to use it in real life, right? So
yeah.
yeah.
And another thing I find too is that like I'm I'm learning how to suss out creative partners who actually want to do the work versus creative partners who just want to talk circles around the work and don't actually want to get their hands dirty. So when I meet someone, even if like it's something that I'm not that doesn't make me go, "Oh my gosh, headlights," but it's just like an opportunity to work with someone else to see something through and knowing that this person is serious, like to me that's like huge.
You're welcome. I'm glad I inspired you.
No, seriously. I remember even when you were like, "Do you wanna come on and, like and just, be a guest, I guess?" And then I seen how serious and professional you were. Not that that surprises me, but, I thought it was incredibly easy to work with you, and I love that you pretty much held it down and planned everything, and, like, you're one of, like, my ideal creative partners.
except for today when I had to take breaks and
No, dude, that's not even
dying out here.
no, but like that's what a strong partner is for. Somebody like I think we have two different styles. People probably will be able to tell
Oh
listening to
yeah,
this
for
that
sure.
this wasn't done by you, but the fact that I'm able to seamlessly fit into your style, you're able to seamlessly fit into my style, and hopefully the listeners enjoy it and like it, but we're also able to have conversation because we love each other.
Why'd you have to put the emphasis on it like that?
I don't know. I just felt like it was a great place to leave off and
But
take a sip of my drink.
I see that. Also,
Mhm.
don't forget to go check out Also Dope podcast where we talk
Yeah.
about adult friendship.
Oh, yeah.
I
The
was lucky
episode dropped
enough,
last week.
yeah, I was lucky enough to be a guest on it for that one. I had a few people that went and checked it out and hit me up and said it was a great episode. So,
Did
and
you
if you want,
listen to it?
I did listen to it. And if you want to hear how my voice normally sounds, go listen to that episode or go back and
Mhm.
listen to any of the Keeping Up with the Senator. But what was the next topic that you had written
Okay.
down? So
No,
for
it's
the
not the next person. Yeah.
okay, so for all the viewers, all the listeners, I completely left this up to Cass and I said surprise me. So I have no clue which direction we're going to be on,
Yeah.
but we're about
You're here
to
in the passenger seat. Just you're along
exactly
for the ride.
exactly. And Benny says he want to be on an episode. You got to be on an episode of the Also Dope pod for sure.
I think he was talking about this.
If you want to be on here, you can be on here for sure.
Yeah.
And if you want to be on the mommy one that she's producing, just
Oh
hit
my
her up on
gosh.
the side.
Yeah, hit me up on the side. Okay, so the next star is Bethany Frankel. Do you know who she is?
Yeah, the creator of Skinny Girl wine,
Oh my, how do you know that?
because she to me that's how I got introduced to her. I didn't even know that she was from a reality show. I saw her on Shark Tank
No
as
way.
yeah.
No way. Okay. So I've heard the name, but I never put the face to the name. And because I don't watch Real Housewives of New York City, I'd never known her. So I have a basic timeline of her career. So 1990s, she was a production assistant. And I think she worked on shows like Saved by the Bell. 2005, she was on The Apprentice, Martha Stewart. I didn't even know that was a show. 2008 is when she came onto the scene in The Real Housewives of New York. 2009, so just 1 year later, she launched her low-calorie cocktail company, Skinny Girl Cocktails, which I'm surprised you know about Skinny Girl Cocktails. Um, and then after
Well,
that
well, as a dude that drinks with women
okay.
and they're always like, have you tried the Skinny Girl? And you're like, no, like, what is that? And then they finally showed me in a liquor store. I was like, interesting. And then it became like a whole craze for a long time of women that wanted to enjoy that Skinny Girl drink.
Yeah, I think the fact that, like, she capitalized and niched down on the right audience. So she
Hmm.
was in front of a lot of other women who watch Real Housewives who might also be housewives, right?
Hmm.
And then she took this perfect opportunity to launch something that makes sense for her viewership.
Yeah, it absolutely made sense, especially the title of it, because that's like, especially for TV, it's
Mhm.
always said that it's about like the skinny girl stuff and how they always promoting like the low calorie stuff and all this type of stuff. So like
Yeah.
it kind of worked out perfect for her and perfect like brand name and everything. So
Mhm. Well, she sold the company. Guess how much she sold it for?
I'm gonna say like 300 mil.
Oh, no, no, no. You overshot that. 120 million, which is
Okay.
still like a good amount of money, a good chunk of change.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, the next one we're going to talk about. Do you want to wrap up anything on Bethany Frankel?
No, she capitalized on it and she made the most out of it. So
Oh, I have a quick question. It's
yeah.
like a what would you do type of question.
Mhm.
So, given the audience that you have currently with the podcast that you're a part of, what if you were to create a product or a service, what would it be? That's
Uh,
not a podcast, but something to sell to your audience.
Um, I think something like my own version of like the Chromecast or the Fire Stick. If I could get something like that would
Mm.
for like just sports, like that would be something I would try to do.
So a sports stick. You call it the slapstick.
I don't know if I would call it that, but yes, let's use that name for now.
Okay. I feel like if I were to create something for my audience, okay, so I already sell like the greeting cards, the stationery, the
Mhm.
stickers. I wish that it could like blow up bigger. But if I were to sell something else, I wouldn't do clothing. I would not touch clothing. Um, hmm, maybe like mugs, but like you already have enough mugs. Um, Honestly, I would start up like a cafe if I could. Like that's what I would do, I think. And have it open up to the community to do like events, workspace during the day, and then like an event space up top. I think that's what I would do, like just to bring people together. But the limiting part of that is the fact that you have to be in one city, unless I have multiple
No,
locations.
you could have multiple one. You would
Yeah.
start with one, and then you could expand.
Okay. So it's called the Cass Cafe. All right. Next, Cardi
Yeah,
B.
Cardi
Cardi B.
B.
What were your first thoughts? Like, do you recall the first time that you seen Cardi B and like what were your first thoughts?
I knew about Cardi B before she got on Love and Hip Hop.
How? As a stripper or like
Nah, I heard about her through music. So
really?
she I think she put out one mixtape before she got onto Love and Hip Hop, and then she put out the next mixtape when she was on Love and Hip Hop, which was the one that kind of caught buzz a lot more. Um, and then she put out Bodak Yellow after that, which really blew up. But I heard about her from her first mixtape.
Yo, I had no clue until I Googled this today and I seen the trajectory. I had thought that she was like a dancer and then a personality and then got onto Love and Hip Hop and then was like, "Oh, I'm in front of all these people. Let me become a rapper." I didn't realize that she was in the music industry way before she even got on reality TV.
Yeah, like her like for me, like her music didn't really hit me like early.
Mhm.
I heard it like there's a couple of girls that I knew that played like from the New York that played a couple of her songs
Mhm.
and stuff, and I was like, all right, and like, okay, cool. I think Love and Hip Hop just kind of broadcasted her personality more than anything else,
Mhm.
and then it became one that everybody wanted to listen to and like and all that stuff.
Who do you think anyone gave her a cosign? Like, and I'm not saying that anyone made her
Mhm.
her career, but we all know that it's hard to get through and it's hard to get respect and garner like attention until someone kind of like shoves you or like pushes you on or recommends you and said this girl's good or puts you on a feature. What like what was that like? Do you know what that story is?
No, like I honestly, to tell you the truth, I think it was yesterday, I just watched a video where she kind of broke down like her whole career and stuff like that. But as far as when it got to me, it was nowhere like that. It was kind of just a couple of girls played it. I heard
Mhm.
it. I was like, all right, cool. But then I watched Love and Hip Hop and then I saw who she was and I was like, okay, cool. Like I get why people like her and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then the music started to catch up to the personality. Like she put out the right single at the right time
Yeah,
that
it was
really
all
caught
about timing for her.
yeah, that caught buzz. And this is I'm talking about before Bodak Yellow. It
Oh.
was because it was ran down on that chick twice. That track there. And I think that was right after Plies put out Ran Off on the Plug twice. So it was
Oh.
kind of like the perfect thing, like if you were listening to that music at that time, because it kind
Yeah.
of just blended in. Me as a DJ, I could go from that to that, and it just worked out.
Mhm.
And then I saw the buzz that one was getting, and then Bodak Yellow came out, and then she was just out of here after that.
Yeah, absolutely. So her timeline is as follows. Okay, in 2015, she started up on social media. I want to say she was probably active before that, but that's when most people started seeing her. 2016 is when she premiered and joined on the cast of Love and Hip Hop New York. 2017 is when she released Bodak Yellow, and then 2018 is when her album came out. She hasn't released an album since, yeah? I don't
No.
think so. She just like done features and what do you call solo songs?
Yeah, she put out
Singles.
she put out some singles, some Lucy's. Obviously, the biggest one out of all of them after she put out anything was WAP.
Yeah. Yo, you're so good with media. What? I
Yeah,
I have it in my notes. You haven't seen them, but yeah.
yeah, no, that would be her biggest one. Probably the next one after that would be her feature on Glorilla's Tomorrow
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
She announced that new single's coming out soon, and that a new album is dropping soon. So,
Do you think she
well,
drops the ball with hot shit?
I think I think a bunch of those were just when you get to that level of what of stardom that she was at.
Mhm.
I think the problem was WAP dropped during the pandemic,
Yeah.
so she can't drop an album during that time, because when you're that caliber of an artist, once you drop a major single, you need to drop the album and go touring right after.
Yeah.
And I think with the pandemic, I think it halted a lot of stuff,
Mhm.
and then the songs that got released after that never reached the level that WAP did. So
Right.
whether it was Money, whether it was Up, Hot Shit, like none of those reached the level that WAP did.
Okay, let's pull over for a second real quick. We're out of reality TV because
Mhm,
we were saying that one of the reasons for her success is because she has the likability factor.
mhm.
Even if you don't agree with her, even if you might be like, "Oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about," whatever, she is likable.
Mhm.
Now, I was talking about this yesterday with a friend. Why is it that nobody likes Meghan Markle and nobody likes Aisha Curry?
Okay, so Meghan Markle is a little bit different, right?
Talk to me.
So for Meghan Markle, it was no one really knew her until she got onto Suits. And
Okay.
then so when she got onto Suits, people found out that she was on Deal or No Deal beforehand. But
Y-
like you didn't grow with her, right? You met her there, and then all of a sudden she's marrying the prince.
Mhm.
So like you may have been able to relate with her for a certain part, or if you didn't like her character in Suits, then it's kind of like, all right, I don't really like your character already. And then on the outside, you're about to go marry into the royal family. There's nothing to relate there.
I was about
With
to say, yeah.
Aisha Curry, Aisha Curry, I think people just love to hate her, like hate on her, because one, it was like you're from Toronto, you're dating you marry one of the top
Mhm.
basketball players, even though that doesn't mean you don't. Sometimes people don't even realize the grind that he had to put in order to get to that
Mhm.
level, right? If he was just like an average player, nobody would nobody would care.
About her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because he turned into Steph. You're kind of just there, so it's like girls that date these ball players and stuff like that don't even make it to the league sometimes are hating on her just because it's like,
No, but, like, she has a whole, like, lifestyle
oh,
brand, cooking
I'm
shows,
saying
all of that
people hate on her not because of her. They hate on her
because what she
because
has?
because of what she has, right?
Mm.
Like That's what I was saying about the girls that get jealous of like the ones that make it into like the G League or play overseas, right?
Yeah.
It's like you could still that's still a career. Be proud of who you're with, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need to hate on this girl that's out here just trying to build her name and not just be Steph's wife.
I
But
think we can. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was done. I was like, just you. She's just trying to build her lane with the
Hmm.
resources she has, which is what everybody should do. If you have those resources, you do what you gotta do. You don't need to sit down and be quiet and sit on the sideline. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to work, work.
I don't think it's because she's rich and maybe like has it all. I feel like it's because I don't believe that she's like this, but I think she comes off as like she thinks her shit doesn't stink. That's how she comes off. Like I would compare her and Chrissy Teigen in similar boats, right? They're both married to highly successful, nice men, and they both have like similar interests in that like homemaking, cooking, yada yada yada. But Chrissy Teigen is a lot warmer. She's a lot more relatable. Right. Mind you, both these women are gorgeous. They dress well, all of that stuff. But I feel like Aisha Curry is cold. And I don't think she's probably not like that in real life. And even when you see her in videos where she's like being silly or whatever, it just doesn't hit as like as authentic. You know how like Chloe Bailey when she dropped her album, I haven't listened to it, but I've heard a lot of the feedback was it's not believable, right? She's talking all this stuff, and even if it's true to her, people are like, I don't believe it coming from your mouth.
But even to your point,
Hmm.
I think that um even if you were to use the two comparisons, that's why I hate making comparisons between people, right?
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, it would be kind of the same situation on
What do
both
you mean,
sides. Where it comes to when you look at Chris, Chris,
Chrissy Teigen?
Chrissy Teigen and Aisha, right? But then it's also like one of those things that people always do where they compare when they compare, oh, I like this person a little bit more than I like this person, right? Like they're
Different people.
both Asian dating like light skinned black guys. Like it's a
Is
mirror.
Aisha Curry Asian?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm Googling this.
Go
She's
ahead
not
and Google.
Asian.
She's part Asian.
Okay, that makes sense. Part.
Yeah, but if you're part Asian, and when you, what do people like to do? It doesn't matter. Like people like to compare anything, the closest comparison that you can get. So if they're like, I like, it's like when people are like, I don't like Cardi because I'm a Nicki fan, or I don't like Nicki because I'm a Cardi fan. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
it's always that whole thing of like pointing people against each other. And in these situations, it's like, oh, I like
No, but I don't think these
what's
2
her
have ever
name?
been Chrissy Teigen, I don't think
There
they've
you go.
ever been pitted against each other because they're so different. They have a similar life. I've never heard anyone, bring them up in the same
No,
sentence before.
I'm not saying the thing, but I'm also saying that the same comparison that you can make is the same
Mhm,
comparison other people will make. They might not make
mhm.
it out as publicly, but like I'm starting to see a lot of people turn on her now too. Like
Who,
Chrissy
Chrissy
Teigen.
Teigen?
Yeah. Like people are just finicky, man. Like people
Yeah.
just do whatever they want. People just hate on whoever.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's wrap that up and let's get into the last real. Let's
Right.
see if you can guess this one. The last reality star who has made the most of the opportunities that have been presented in their life and didn't necessarily come from nothing to something, but like came from something to like, oh my gosh, guess who this person is?
You gotta give me a hint though.
I can't believe I have to give you a hint. Reality TV, she's been on for like the longest time and she's created so many opportunities for herself. If I give you another hint, I feel like you would it's just a giveaway. It's obvious. It's so obvious. Come on. I'm gonna have to terminate this contract after this if you don't get it. Do you want me to give you another hint? She's not black.
She's not black.
She's not a black woman. She started
You're
reality
not.
TV at a young
Are you
age.
talking about? You're not talking about Kim, are
Of
you?
course, I'm talking about Kim. She has made the most out of her reality TV career. Name someone who's done anything bigger. Nobody. Nobody.
I can't.
Nobody. Do you not agree with this as like the number one in the number one spot?
It is number one, but like,
Do you hate Kim Kardashian?
put some respect on Ray J's name.
Oh my gosh. Ugh.
That's what Ray J's the GOAT, yo.
Okay. And is that why you hate Kim Kardashian? Because
I
Ray
don't.
J's your man's. Is
I
that
don't
why?
hate Kim Kardashian.
You hate Kim
I
Kardashian.
don't hate. I
You
don't
just
hate.
said it. Viewers,
I
he just said he hates
I
Kim Kardashian.
I don't hate anybody. I
Okay.
don't hate anybody, but Ray J is the GOAT.
Okay. Whatever. So let's trail it back to Kim Kardashian's career. So I didn't know this, but she was a stylist for Paris Hilton. Obviously, she grew up running in those circles. In 2006 is when Keeping Up with the Kardashians first aired. Did you ever watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
No.
It's one of my favorite shows. It's a guilty pleasure, and like I still watch it to this day. And I wish that we could cover that show in this show, but I know you would never let that happen.
Well, you can definitely choose clips and stuff, and we can talk about them. I'm not watching that show.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I watched 2 episodes, and I was like, I can't. Like,
yeah. So 2007, she co-created a clothing line. This is the first clothing line with her sisters. And then she released a fragrance. She has her makeup company. She married Chris Humphries. She married Kanye West. Like she's done a lot. She released a book of selfies called Selfish. Like this is real life. This is real life. And then obviously we know like Skims. Do you give her credit or do you give her mom credit or do you give the stupid girls who follow her, myself included, credit for where she's been able to go in life?
I give her mom credit.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom is like knows how to properly exploit her children. So
what's the difference between exploit and spin a situation?
I must use the word exploit for that one. Also, I'm using the word exploit because of what she did to the GOAT, Ray J.
You need to and your hang up on Ray J. Let it go.
Nah, give the man the credit.
Let it go.
Give the man his credit.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'll give him a little bit of credit for being the catalyst. But like really and truly, when you make a volcano, like back in the day, it's like your science experiment and you have the sand and then you have like the baking powder inside or baking soda and then you pour in the vinegar. Ray J would probably be Ray J would be the vinegar. He would be the vinegar. Ray J's the vinegar. But the vinegar melts away, disintegrates, and she did her thing after that. She didn't ask him for any more help afterwards.
Nah, but they made him. They tried to downplay that man's.
How?
And make him the bad guy, make him a villain in the situation, which is why I'm like, you know what, Team Ray J on that one. You know what I mean?
So you think she owes a portion of her money, a portion of her earnings to Ray J? Should he earn 10%? Does he deserve 10%?
I'm not even saying all that. I'm just saying like the way how it was, they tried to make it sound like he was the one that leaked everything, whatever, all that stuff, right? Like they villainized him, and then that helped with putting her where she was at that point, right? Because she was kind of victimized at that point in that situation when you looked at
for her sex tape coming out.
Yeah, right. And when you hear all these alleged reports saying, like the mom's the one that set up like these deals and stuff like that.
That's exploitation for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like that's where that's where you Ray J was just like a victim in the situation, and nobody wanted to give him his deal when it comes to that. I don't expect him to get 10% or nothing. I'm just saying, like on
But
that
wouldn't
point.
that be
But
funny? I feel like that would be funny if she came out and was like, I owe my career to Ray J. Had it not been for him and our home tape, I would never be the woman I am today."
yeah, you would have been known as Paris Hilton. You were the behind the scene girl for Paris Hilton. You saw her in a couple of videos where Paris Hilton walked into a courtroom and stuff like that,
Mhm.
where Kim was there, but like no one was really checking for her until after that.
But the sex tape came out after the show aired, right? I feel like that's what, like,
It
brought
didn't.
more eyes and attention.
I swore it came before the
No, I
thing.
remember the episode. I remember the episode that came out. It came out the first season. When Chris got the call, Kim broke down, and they tried to damage control it. And I think
Yeah, but
that is the situation that brought a lot of eyes to that first season. Because, like, maybe they would never have gotten renewed for a second season if the first season wasn't so juicy.
remember that first season. Those seasons are taped like a year in advance, so the tape was already out because that's what they
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
because it's the same thing when and I only know this because of IG clips when they had that scene where Kanye supposedly went to go get the second tape
Mhm.
from whatever. That was something that came out like 8 months, 9 months beforehand, and then
Yeah.
it aired. You know what I mean? So the tape was out first before thing.
Hmm.
Her reaction to the tape being
Yeah.
released helped elevate that show.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Ray J does deserve, like,
That's what I'm saying,
2%.
man. Give him some respect on that
Y
one.
Give him some residuals.
But nah, Kim did Kim and the whole family did what they needed to do. Like
Mhm.
there was number of stuff that went on throughout that family's life that ended up making for good TV. The bootleg wedding to Chris
What bootleg?
Humphries.
Oh, okay.
Um, the whole drama with uh, what's his name, Pete Davidson. Later on,
Yeah, and then Chloe's first husband, what was his name? He was in the NBA and he
Lamar
did the
Odom.
yeah.
You had Lamar Odom. You had that. Then you then they became fans of like the younger ones as they were growing up,
Yeah.
and then Bruce turning to Caitlyn, and then like there was
Yeah, a
all
lot.
all the stuff that went on throughout all of these ones, right? So
Yeah. Who do you think is the most successful out of that family?
it's definitely Kim, but second would be uh Kylie.
Yeah, I think Kylie's the richest. I think she's
Yeah,
made the most money from her makeup.
yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
I put Kim first. I put Kim, then Kylie, then Chloe, then Kendall, and then Courtney.
And then Courtney? Okay.
Courtney does what does Court what
She runs Poosh.
her stuff is not even popping like that.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
it's popping to the people that watch the show and all that
Yeah,
stuff and follow her, but like outside that, it ain't really
it's not
popping.
breaking.
At least
Yeah.
like Kendall will be on like Kendall will date some athlete or whatever. Right now, she's supposedly dating Bad Bunny.
What happened with her
You
and
know what I
that
mean?
basketball player? I thought they were gonna get married.
Yeah, she's with Bad Bunny now, the most streamed artist in the world.
Okay,
So,
well, they know how to choose them, I guess.
you know what I mean? So,
Okay, I have another question. What do you think about this new trend that's happening? I haven't, like, checked out their bodies, but apparently they're getting their BBLs reversed, and it is changing the culture. One less booty cheek at a time. What are your thoughts on that? You just
everyone,
roll your eyes.
man, let me let me tell you the one thing that I will say about TV and their lack of appreciation for black culture.
Talk to me, baby.
because there were so many times where those thick lips were always hated on
Brap.
un- until these girls decided that, hey, you know what, I'm gonna put in lip injections, and now everybody wanted to have these big lips, right? Like it's not hated on now because it's a in thing. The big booty, same thing. You know what I mean? Like everybody at one point, you wanted to people wanted to have that skinniness like a model should have. You know what I mean? And now it's like, then at one point it was like, okay, you gotta have a big booty. So now everyone's going out to go get these implants done. People are dying getting these implants done because they're
Mhm.
getting botched jobs, all this type of stuff. And now it's like, oh, it's not really healthy to have all this stuff. So maybe we should get them removed. So now people are starting to get them removed. Natural is just the way to go, man. Just be you, man. Like be you all the way. If you ain't got a big booty, don't go pay some cheap job to get them done and sacrifice your life for that. Like just be you. Your personality might be dope enough to just make up for that for other people. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
ain't no time for all that. Just do what
Do
you
you
got to do.
feel I feel like, okay, the definition of a culture vulture, in my opinion, is someone who profits off another's culture without giving anything back, without donating or referencing whatever. And in my opinion, even though like I do like the show, I think one of the reasons why I like the show so much is because it's inspirational for me because
Hmm.
like they have such like business minds and like I have that too and I aspire for that as well. But I feel like honestly, the trend that it's going towards is they've chewed up Black culture and they're about to spit it out, right? So you've seen Kim first now. Well, we know Courtney's never been into like Black men, and but the rest of the family has been notorious for only dating Black men, right?
Hmm.
So we've seen Kim with Pete Davidson, and now we're seeing what's her name, Kendall with Bad Bunny, who is not a Black man, but he is an ethnic man. And then there's new rumors about Kylie and this white actor.
Hmm.
And then we only have Chloe left, right? So I feel like honestly, and now with the reversal of the image, I think they're rebranding themselves. And I think that it's particularly dangerous. And I think that now more than ever, Black women need to stand strong and stand firm and not let things like this sway their confidence. Because like it or not, these women these women drive a culture. I don't want to say the culture, but
Hmm.
they have a
They have
lot of
some sway.
influence. Right. So I think it could be potentially like really damaging to Black women at this point now that they're deciding, oh, we're done with this culture.
The most spent dollar in the states is black dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to get popping, make it appeal, make it appeal there, right? Because what moves the needle, to tell you the truth, when it comes to culture, when it comes to all that stuff, we already know what the answer is. So you get there, you get popping, you get pretty much untouchable. You can rebrand to anything you want after that. And once
Mm-hmm.
you rebrand, you're pretty much already so many $1 million up that if the rebrand doesn't work, it's not really gonna kill you. You know what I mean? Like everything is pretty much solidified.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just gotta, when people are looking at, and that's why people gotta stop looking at all these like reality stars or musicians and all that stuff for what ego boost they need. You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
gotta find that stuff with what you got, and get that confidence with and feel comfortable with what you got, not anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Because when people want to rebrand, you're going to be the one affected by it because your confidence just goes by what they tell you your confidence is. So find that that self-love within, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I think that about wraps us up, takes us to the end of this episode. And if there's anything that viewers can walk away with, it's that A, Ray J deserves at
The
least
GOAT.
5%. Ray J's the GOAT. And B, Black women run this.
That's a fact.
Senator, do you have anything to plug before we hop out of here?
You already know what it is. Go check out the Fresh Take Network for the 7K Pick podcast, the ISO podcast, your wrestling podcast. Don't forget to check out the Not So Soft podcast. Comes out every Monday. New episode dropped yesterday. Go follow the Instagram page at Not So Soft Pod. And I promise you, people, I will do whatever it takes for next week for me to be 100%, because I don't like being like this, and I don't want y'all to hear me like this more than just today.
There you go. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. If you want to hear more of me, you could find me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff at Oh So Dope, OH space SO space dope. And I release my show as well every single Thursday. Some of the episodes are solo, others I've got guests on. If you want to reach back, last week Senator was on my pod as well. Yeah, if you want to support me and put some money in my pocket because I ain't got a job no more, I would love if you visit my website and buy some greeting cards, stickers, tote bags, buttons, whatever floats your boat, to be honest. My website is Dope House. You spell house HAUS.co. Yeah, so I hope to see you there.
And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. Go follow the TikTok page at Keeping Up with the Senator. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page at Keeping Up with the Senator. And we will check you out next time we are here. So make sure to tell a friend to come through.
Yes. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Goodbye.